Well, Randy Anderson back with you. I got a really interesting hunt with you. It's only going to take some howls to get a coyote to come in right off the bat, kind of within just a few minutes. And there's two interesting things. The first is, of course, I'm howling it in. I'm using a new howl. I don't think I've ever started with this howl. It's called the Lost Female Howl. Where I got that from, I was in Kansas, and first set of the morning, we call in a coyote, a pair, and we shoot the male and the female runs off. So we hunt all day and we're coming back to where we started, and we're trying to think where could we do one more stand. So hey, let's just try to call that female back. Sure enough, I howl, just a male kind of soft howl, and she answers, and we just keep going back and forth, back and forth. She comes right up and we shoot it right at dark. It's on a video somewhere, I think. But of course, I take my howls out. It's just her howling that you're going to hear. And so then we're sitting here with Troy Elliott right in front of a prairie dog town. And the other interesting thing is the wind is totally wrong. But Troy says it's right before dark again. We're looking for one more place to go. And he says there's always a coyote or more in this prairie dog little area here. Some hills around it. And the prairie dog's got it all grazed down to the grass. It's cold. There's not any prairie dogs running around. But anyways, so we have to shoot the coyote with a downwind like that, either from the left coming in or the right, and stop it before it gets lined up with the bark or whatever. Or if it comes from straight downwind right towards us, I told Troy Elliott to pick out a spot with his rangefinder about 275, 300, right in there somewhere, because usually that's about where they smell you, and then just take off running. So, and then the other thing is, after I do them lost female howls, I follow it up with a domain howl, and it's just me in a studio on my double howler, mouth howler. And a domain howl is kind of, I call it between a interrogation and a challenge. It's kind of a little bit attitude in it, but it's kind of more of a softer howl, just letting them coyotes know, you know, I am over here. You better not come over here, you know, time for a deal like that. That's all I did, 3 howls on that howl, and here comes the coyote running right in. And by golly, it comes from the left, so we stop it right before it gets downwind of us and smells us. And I think you'll enjoy this one. I never seen a coyote get so pooped out.
Okay, we're sitting right overlooking a prairie dog town with the wind dead wrong, but it's the only way to get in here. Troy says it's a good spot. The wind is actually going right from me to Troy straight out there, so if they come in, hopefully they'll come in on the sides, then we shoot them before they smell us. Or if they come straight in, I told him when you get about 300 you better shoot, because they'll be going 100-mile-an-hour away when they sniff us, because we stink. So I'm going to start out with something different here, about a lost female. I was down in Kansas and called in a coyote in the morning with the landowner, and we hunted the rest of the day, and we're trying to find another set before dark. And I said, well, let's just go. It was on the way back to the house. I said, let's just go that same spot we called and got that male this morning. Maybe the female's around. So I howl like a male, and this is what happened. The old female answered. She's looking for her male, I guess, for a mate. That's what So I just start howling back at her with the little dog, like the male. Ooh. And she come all the way in, we shot her. So maybe it'll work here, I don't know.
Well, it's a little bit too cold for the prairie dogs to be out.
Haven't heard nothing, seen nothing. So I'm gonna go to the old domain howl. It's an old male. Not really a challenge, kind of in between the interrogation and the challenge. Call it the domain howl. See if this does anything. It worked the other day, get him to howl. We called in a pair and shot one. That's just me on a diaphragm call, recording it in the studio. Coyotes don't know the difference. Think, boy, it's getting about prime time. You'd think that some might answer somewhere. Coyote to the left. What? Coyote to the left.
Look at that coyote come into the howls.
Okay, you ready? Ready?
I should have gave a little whistle. That coyote's going to move right before the shot.
Okay, shoot it again. Take your time. Take your time.
Right there.
Well, that's called doing it the old Randy Anderson way.
Howl 'em in.
See, wasn't that something? Now you folks wonder, well, they don't howl and all this, they don't howl back like they didn't there and everything. But that coyote was coming to the howl.
Oh yeah, yeah. You didn't even play the
I didn't
rabbit
get
or
rabbits
anything.
or nothing.
No.
Yet. Just did that female, lost female howl. Then I followed with be a male domain howl. And I suppose that could be a male. Looks like, I don't know, pretty good size, but could be the female. But
To come in at a good speed.
good speed. You don't now. You see, you didn't use your rabbit. You didn't do your coyote fights and pups and all that. If you give them time to come in, that's the biggest mistake people make. They howl a few times and they're right on a rabbit or something else when they've been educated maybe before, and then they'll just stop coming. But let them howls work, folks. It worked this time for H.P. Elliott, Highway Patrolman Elliott.
All right, Troy, there it is. A little bit shot up, but
Yeah.
anyways, it's dead. That's the main thing. And it's a what?
It's a male.
Yeah. And it's not very big. I mean, it's maybe a 1.5-year-old. But a lot of people worry about howling, scaring off the younger coyotes, but it wasn't scared. It was coming on the lope there at the end when I finally got it on camera, and it was what? Looking for a coyote, right?
It was. It
wasn't looking for a rabbit or
scanning
a coyote,
around.
coyote fight or pup distress. Stage 1, that's why you do it. Never answered back. Within about 4 minutes, there it come right up the hill. And so, good job.
Yeah. Get lucky every now and then.
You been around coyotes that have been howled in much like that?
Not until this year, really.
You tried it. You started trying it this year?
Yeah,
howling?
more so.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you start howling?
Well, I watched the video from Randy Anderson, and one thing led to another, and
You starting to howl and getting more success, you think, when you're howling?
I would say it's
Teaming it up with stage 2 and the rest of it?
I would say the percentages are higher.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people, but some of them still think, even celebrities, you shouldn't howl only in breeding season in February, but there's proof. You can get them educated coyotes in.